Hello guys and welcome back to another Club World Cup Fantasy video. Today I'm going to present to you my final team selection for the upcoming Matchday 4. It's the round of 16, we already know which teams are going to go through and we already know what is going to happen. Of course, my team looks at the moment like that, but all of them will disappear. While I'm removing the players, you can just go and subscribe to the channel, it's completely for free and you're going to help me grow massively. Now, we have several things to discuss here. First of all, we start with Palmeiras versus Botafogo. This will be the lineups that we know, and the winner of Palmeiras versus Botafogo will face against Benfica or Chelsea. The winner of that goes against City Al Hilal or Inter Milano Fluminense. So that's the semi-final bracket. The other bracket, it's way harder. PSG, Bayern, Real, Juve and Dortmund are on the same bracket. Flamengo are not a team to underestimate. Monterrey are not as well. So I believe there is going to be a lot of things to monitor here and a lot of things to find out about different teams. We're going to need some cheap enablers because most of the players are expensive and we need to be able to afford as many as possible. All we know, the PSG versus Bayern Munich game is a little bit worrying, but that's a game for the quarterfinals to worry about. For now, I think we are in an okay position. Now, from this game, I think it's going to be Chelsea as favorites. Here it's Botafogo, here is PSG, here is Bayern, here is Inter, here is City, here is Real, and here is Dortmund as clear favorites in my eyes. Juve versus Real is going to be the hardest of the fixture, so I don't know how to approach it. Juve just lost 5-2 against City, but City are probably the best team of the tournament at the moment, as it looks like. Their squad is with a very big depth, and I think that they're going to be very good. Then facing Al Hilal and then the winner of Inter versus Fluminense allows me to pick players from their team, as I think they have an okay run to the semi-finals. And then in the semis is probably going to be Chelsea, so it's not that difficult either. So I would say starting with a Manchester City duo will do me some favors. Of course, the first player that I'm selecting is Erling Haaland. He has scored one here, one assist, and he has one goal here with 2 shots on target. That's in 45 minutes. I think against Juve he plays his full 90 minutes. The defensive department from City has been a little bit questionable. They've conceded a goal here and there. Foden, by the way, what a pick. 13% here. He was a scouting bonus pick, and already here he is not. But if we go to defenders and see how their defenders are playing, for example, Akanji has played 90 here and 90 here, while he didn't play in the first game. Then we go to someone like Ake. Didn't play, but played in the first. Then we go to Vitor Reyes. Didn't, again, played only in the first game. Kusanov, when you go, he played only in the second one. Then you go down to Gvardio, he played only in the second one. Then you go a little bit up to 8 Nuri, he played in second and in third game. So a little bit of question marks there. Ruben Diaz has played several minutes in second and full in third. So yeah, I'll be a little bit worried there. Of course, a keeper like Ortega played only one of the games. Ederson played in 2 of them. So I would probably go for Ederson as a selection for my goalkeeper's position. There are several options that I can go for. The Chelsea keeper is one of them. Bayern, PSG, Inter Milan, not a bad shout. But I think City's keeper is the nail defender, and I think with Ederson I will be okay into the goal. So I have my 2 players from City and I think I'm sorted. Everyone else feels like a rotation risk down the road. Rodri, by the way, has started playing some minutes. Of course, his minutes are far from certain. Where is Rodri? To show it. Yes, here he played 30 Here he played 29 and here he played 66 minutes. So I think with the tournament progressing, he will play more and more and more and we can select him. But for now, this is going to be the pick that I go for: Haaland and Ederson. Foden, Marmoush, Cherki. By the way, Cherki is not a bad shout. Doku has played in first and third game. You cannot predict that Cherki has been part of all of the games, but has only scored in one of them. He didn't start any game. No, he started the first and there was benched. It's going to be difficult to predict how City line up apart from Erling Haaland. Then moving into another team that I think are clear favorites, and that is PSG. Immediately Kvara is returned into the squad. I don't know if Dembele is fit yet, but Kvara has been one of the best players in the tournament so far, so I would say that he will be joining my team. Another player that I will be going for is Donnarumma, and these are my keepers sorted. I know it's an expensive pair and I know I can go for Fluminense, Kobel here, but if I go for Kobel, then he has to face Real or Juve, which is not ideal. Even though I will pick defenders from Dortmund, still I don't see it as ideal. Then we have Bayern defense, Neuer, I don't think so. Sanchez is a good option, but for now I'm going to go for Donnarumma, and of course I will try to fit in Hakimi, as I think he is one of the most exciting players in the game. Pacho, on the other hand, it's not a bad defender either. 7 points here. He's getting some good returns. 14 points for Hakimi. By the way, in the last fixture before that, he got similar points to Pacho. But Donnarumma and Hakimi, I think, are a good pair to go from. Another team that I think will win comfortably, that is Chelsea, and for now I'm returning Pedro Neto into the frame. Of course, someone like Enzo from Chelsea is another option that I'm considering. 6.2 versus 6.5. If I have to save some money, it's going to be to get Enzo and be sorted with the Chelsea asset. Of course, a defender is good to have, but not a must in my eyes. Starting in the first game will be Palmeiras versus Botafogo, and here I will pick the cheap player, so Vitinho, joins the team, and then it's going to be Jesus. I know that this guy has played alright. When they defeated PSG, he was good. When they defeated Seattle Sounders, he was good. When they lost, he wasn't good. Now he's no longer a differential, but I don't need him as differential. I need him as a solid pick and a solid enabler. The cheap player from my team is going to be from Botafogo, so that's the situation there. Then we move to a team like Bayern Munich. Immediately our player is returned. That is going to be, by the way, my captain but I will sort out the captains later. But yeah, my pick here is going to be Ulise. The midfielders remain at the moment pretty similar. Of course, they will change as the time goes by, but for now I think that Ulise and Pedro Neto are in good position. If we want to pick a defender from Bayern Munich, that defender is going to be Jonathan Tah. I think that he has started every game. Yes. No, he didn't start the last one, but Jonathan Tah, I feel like he will be playing. Of course, someone like Bowie, it's going to be an interesting option looking at his potential. 62 minutes he's used before what's his name, before Weimer, so I don't know if that will keep going, but for now I will stack it up with Bowie. Looking down to the Borussia Dortmund fixture, I think that I need several players from them, and the first asset that I'm going to return into the team is going to be Anton. At the moment he is differential, of course, by the looks of it I will have to select another player, but for now this is good, and now I'm left with 4 picks and not a lot of budget, by the way, so I have to be a little bit picky with my selections. Of course, Real Madrid is playing, and I know that I've been going for Alexander Arnold, but to be fair, I will be now probably going for Garcia. He's cheaper, he's still a differential, not going to be a differential soon, but he's a cheap option from that Real defense. I know it's against Juve, but then the winner faces Dortmund Monterrey, and I think we are going to get it. Now I need to get an expensive forward, and if Mbappe is fit, That is going to be Mbappe, of course. So I have to now return Haaland into the frame. So that's going to be the team. If Mbappe is not fit, it's going to be Vini. That leaves me with 17 million, which 17 million is not a bad price pool to have. Scrolling down, it's not looking like a very obvious pick is jumping in front of me. Of course, someone like Vitinha is always an option. Adding a fourth PSG player, it's going to be okay in my eyes. Of course, if we look someone like Job Bellingham, he has increased his minutes 58 here and 84 here. Of course, he was, I believe, rotated in the last game, but still he got the assist for the goal, and here he scored the goal and he got the scouting bonus. He's no longer a differential of the scouting bonus. If I'm honest, I want to probably get his brother, Jude, but yeah, with Mbappe, I don't want to stack it up. If I go with Bellingham, I will have to go with Kane or Girassi. By the way, Girassi is not a player that I am going to neglect easily. But of course, it's going to be interesting to decide. Looking at midfielders, it's going to be... So if I go for someone like... I'm planning probably to get Dembele. I don't know if he's going to be used or his next game is going to be against... what's his name? Against Bayern Munich. But probably Doe is not a bad shout out to start with. And if I get Doe, I have plenty of millions to invest elsewhere. So it's a little bit hard to decide on the midfielders. To be fair, I can go for Foden or something like that, and he will get 45 minutes here, 24 here with a goal and 15 points in the first game with 60 minutes played. Of course, there are a lot of options, but most probably my selection for now is going to be someone like Vitinha, who is a good player to have into your team. And finally, if I go with Vitinha, then I need someone expensive. So probably it will be something like Jude here, and Mbappe will have to leave the team as they might play a 3-5-2 and Jude attacking. And here I will have to go for someone like either Harry Kane as an option, Girassi is an option, but that would mean that I can safely improve this guy to Trent. So I move him to Trent. This guy can, if I do that, so let me check what will happen if I improve Bowie to Ta. So this guy is joining the team. 25 million for 3 players. Still, let's say Mbappe is here. So now we add Vitinha into the team, and now we have 8 million for a final player, and that player is not going to be very hard to get with 8 million. Common is out of reach, Foden is in reach, Doku is in reach, maybe another City player, but who will play? I have no idea. Valverde, Bellingham is out of reach, sadly. Conceição, no thank you. I already have the 4 PSG, I already have 2 Bayern, but I don't like another Bayern. Probably Brandt can be an option. Of course, here he played only 32 minutes. He was benched in that game. That was a surprise for me. To be fair, if we go down, it gets tricky, believe me guys, to find the final player. Maybe if I can improve Igor Jesus, I will get, but no, I will not get a lot of money in. So yeah, the selected players, it doesn't look good in my eyes. Yeah, I don't have any differentials apart from Anton and Vitinho. If we pick Botafogo, should I go Di Maria against Chelsea? Why not? If they get a penalty, why the hell not? The pen merchant from them. Penalty won, penalty scored, clean sheet. It's interesting to pick the final player. Of course, I will look for more and more options, but for now, let's add Di Maria to have covered both scenarios. Now I have Vitinho, Hakimi, Ta, Trent and Anton. I can improve, by the way, this guy to Svensson and have another attacker from Dortmund. And I think I'm sorted. Of course, I don't have Dembele, but do I need Dembele? Is he going to be risked against Inter Miami? Probably not. Pedro Neto is here. So yeah, let's start it like that. Let's start it like that. The captain will be Igor Jesus. The vice captain for now will be Vitinho. I'm confirming. I'm, by the way, playing the mystery chip. If I were you, I would activate it as well. Let's look now at dates. 29th, so this guy is in. 29th, this guy is in. Okay, I think I'm sorted. Of course, only one Dortmund player against Monterrey is not ideal. Having two Botafogo against then Chelsea or Benfica. Only one Chelsea or Benfica, so one of them will not get me the go through bonus, which is kind of sad, but you cannot pick them all. So yeah, this team might change. I can go back to Bowie. I can go back to Anton, to Garcia in order to feed in some players if I see them starting or if I see some team news. Tomorrow on the deadline stream or today, depending on when you are watching it, we'll be deciding a lot of stuff. So the game starts 7 my time, the deadline is at 6, so I'll be up from 3:30, probably 2.5 hours of stream. So I think we're in a good position. Farah, Hakimi, Donnarumma, yeah, I think I got it covered. Mbappe is a little bit worrying, but yeah, if I don't see any solid news that he's starting, it's going to be Vini. As with the 3-5-2, Vini is benefiting a lot from that system, and Trent can cause some serious damage from it. By the way, Mbappe and Vini in a 3-5-2 will be golden to watch, but for now, let's not dream too far ahead. I think we're in a good position, so yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see what changes. Let's see what we can adjust and what we can prepare for. Of course, several things may change before deadline, but most of it, this will be my team. If you're looking to use the chip, use it now. Don't use Max Captain for now, in my opinion. If you have of course, you have the Mystery Boost chip, use it now. I think you're going to benefit a lot from it. Around 16 to 18 points is a good thing to get from that chip. Hopefully, there's not going to be too many surprises, and we're going to have a proper quarterfinals with very electric games. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you're new around here. For those of you that keep watching my content, I cannot be more happy that you're enjoying it. So now you get to see my final team selection. Of course, this might not be the end goal team selection, but we will see what will change. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being part of the community. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.